G'day YouTube. How are we today? It is Monday morning and gosh, do you know what? I cannot get that song Chain Reaction out of my head. It is just in there constantly. So I guess it's time for another video. Well, the song Chain Reaction is a bit different to what's the chain reactions in my head. Oh gosh, how do I get this out? How many lives do you think has been, how many lives do you think has been, or friendships or relationships or anything has been destroyed by words and emotions, and not taking time to sit back and look at maybe the concept of what someone's trying to tell us. And that's why I love songs so much, because people can see what they want to see in songs, but for me, I try and look at it from a songwriter's point of view. Some songs are just mainly made for money, and that's silly, but the songs that are made to tell stories are different. So I was sitting there listening to the song Chain Reaction and dancing away, and it got me thinking about my life and a lot of people's lives that have been involved in my life, and how chain reactions in our little communities can affect the bigger community in a way. Like, take for instance, because this is a really hard one to explain, but hopefully if I get it done well, you might be able to see the similarities in your own life and see that maybe you're not such a bad person, and because of words and emotions and frustrations and fear and all that other stuff that we have to deal with in life that really we shouldn't have to deal with. So let's say you just got home from work, you had the worst day in the world, everyone was on your case about getting jobs done. If something didn't get right done, you got the blame for it. And then, but you were trying your best, you really were trying your best to do everything right that day, but no one seemed to take time to help. And then you get home, and maybe you've got a family, or maybe you live with some other people and they're having bad days, and you're just holding everything in. You're holding all that emotion, all that frustration, all that, why can't I do something right in? And then you get a phone call from a friend, and they want to just have a chat to you, and your friend, without even knowing it, has had the worst day in the world like you, and then something's said over the phone and you both explode, and you both have anger towards each other, and without even knowing it, because of all the frustrations of what was happening in that day built up into one conversation. And before you know it, you're saying really nasty words to each other that you really regret. And I think and then you both go to bed sad, and you both wake up sad, and the chain effect of that day goes on and on and on and on, and we get sicker and sicker and sicker. And that's what I think we really need to look at as well, is how little our lives are, because we are little, no matter where you are. Like, if you're on the bottom of the social chain and you've got no money and you try and survive every single day to live, or you're up on the high on the social food chain and you've got so much money you don't know how to live, or you can't live because of that money, or you're in the middle and you're just trying your damn best to work and live, but you don't have time to live. You just have time to work. So all our frustrations in life we're holding in, and then we'll have this one conversation that will blow out of proportion, that will blow up in a way like a atomic bomb. That's why I don't like words and emotions, because we need to take time. Unless we've got time to understand each other, like someone can get upset with you, yes. The concept of love unconditionally is to love that person and understand, and empathy and understand. But then again, you can unbalance that, and someone can get stuck in that cycle, and that's when it becomes really hard with words and emotions and feelings of how to communicate with each other if we get into that cycle of blame and shame. And I think words and emotions are worth so much more than what we're giving them at the moment. So to start this week off, maybe, if we all take a little bit of time and understand that we're all frustrated, we're all sad, we all feel alive, and before we go and talk, maybe find a way to let those frustrations and those feelings out in a more positive manner and not a negative manner, and try and work out a way you can communicate around you to try and stop those frustrations from coming out. Oh my gosh, trust me, it's not easy. I have my own problems with it in my own little life. That's why I see the chain effect. I see what happens to me will affect my children, will affect the outside world, will affect my parents, would affect my next door neighbour. You can't live alone in this world. We're not meant to live alone. So maybe this week, because it's Monday, let's think about words and emotions before we speak them and use them, and just try and be nice to each other, and understand that loving unconditionally isn't about abusing one another and using that. It's about being wise and understanding that people do have bad days. But if those bad days continue into years and years and years, then to properly love that person unconditionally, you have to break away. And I think that's where we get stuck in this cycle of love and hate, where really it's only the frustrations we have of not being able to communicate with each other and understand each other uniquely, and understanding how to let that out in a creative way. That's where we get hate. So how can we leave this on a happy note? So back to the song chain reaction. Let's try and be a good chain reaction for everyone this week, and not a bad one. Okay? Have a good week, YouTube. Oh my gosh, I talk way too much. Thank you, puppies, for being so quiet. Oh my gosh, they're all asleep. Bye, YouTube.